Are you prepared for worst case scenarios? Are you prepared for emergencies? The average American doesn't have a savings account, and a savings account is tied to your future. And so, in this video, we're going to talk about the importance of having a savings account. And a lot of people may think, well, you know what, I'd be better if I just get a little bit more money. Listen, the problem is not the money you make. The problem is how much you spend. Walk with me. Listen, I'm Billy Miller, the motivational minister. And listen, I love to read books. Reading books has impacted my life. Reading books is a very important part of my journey. And I've dedicated this channel into sharing with you the many books that have impacted my life in hopes that it will impact yours too. And in this Billy Reads recommendation, we're going to be talking about this book called The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. And the subtitle is A Powerful One-Step Plan to Live and Finish Rich. And this book is more so on the subject of savings than it is about becoming a millionaire. And it's very important that you have a savings account. There's too many people who didn't prepare for worst case scenarios. They didn't prepare for emergencies. And when life began to happen, they began to struggle because they wasn't prepared and they didn't have anything to help them to endure the troubles they were in. And now they're on the verge of ready to give up. Now they're on the verge of want to throw in the towel. Now they're ready to quit. Listen, you can't quit now. I'm gonna say that again. I say you can't quit now. And just to encourage you a little more further, and speaking of books, I have a book called You Can't Quit Now that I want to give to you at no cost. If you would like a copy of this book, You Can't Quit Now, just look in the description of this video and I give you a direct link where you can go and download it. I'm gonna send you the PDF file, or I'll put the link in the pinned comment section because you can't quit now. And I'm going to encourage you to keep going forward. And we're going to start by creating a savings account. You need a savings account because remember, let's make your savings account equal your future. If you don't have a savings account, that's showing me that you don't really care about your future. But I know that's not you. I know you care about your future. And if you're serious about your future, which I'm sure you are, because you're going to spend the rest of your life there, right? You're serious about your future, then you need to create a savings account. Let's look at this scripture right here. This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 20 in the Living Bible. It says, the wise man saves for the future, but the foolish man spends whatever he gets. Remember, I told you the problem is not how much money you make. The problem is how much money you spend. But if you're wise, the scripture says, if you're wise, you'll save for the future. But a foolish person has impulse spending. A foolish person spends whatever he get. A foolish person it's like having a pocket with holes in it. They can't keep money because as soon as they get it, they spend it. And the more money they get, the more money they spend. And they haven't learned that the more money is not the solution, or more money is not going to solve their problem because they still have the problem of spending. How much are you saving? And what happens is people get caught up in what's called the rat race. Listen, I know I've been there. Let me tell you what the rat race. Let me put this on the screen. Rat race. Rat race is a race in which hardworking people bust their butts, working 40 to 50 hours a week or more, and wind up with almost nothing to show for it because at the end of the month, their paycheck is gone. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever been here? You have more month at the end of your money instead of having more money at the end of the month. You don't work overtime, you done did all this work. Some people have trapped themselves into getting two jobs, and the danger of having two jobs, it's not wrong to have two jobs, But the danger is if you're getting two jobs just so you can have enough money to pay for your expenses, you're trapping yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot because you're going to, if you haven't solved that spending issue, now you have spent your expense, a level of living has increased to the income from these two jobs. And now you're trapped. Now you have to work two jobs and you're doing it wrong. You're doing it incorrectly and you need to start saving now. In this book, he talks about this thing called pay yourself first that I like. One of my biggest takeaways, pay yourself first. And as a matter of fact, let me read a little bit from this book just to give you a sample of what he talks about. So I'm going to read and you just listen. He says, pay yourself first. What most people do when they earn a dollar is pay everyone else first. They pay the landlord, the credit card company, the telephone company, the government, and on and on. The reason they think they need a budget is to help them figure out how much to pay everyone else. So at the end of the month or the year or their working life, they will have something left over to pay themselves. Listen, that's not the way to do it. And too many times we get caught up not having enough because we're paying ourselves last. Well, once I pay everything, once I make sure everybody else get paid, then I'm gonna see how much I can put in my savings. Look, he put this right here. This is also from the book. He says, why would you get out of bed, leave your family, spend most of your waking hours taking care of business for someone else, and not work at least 1 hour for yourself? You won't even save at least 10% of your income because you're trying to make sure everybody else get paid. Listen, also, by the way, I'm gonna share a nugget with you at the end of this video that you're going to want to get. This is not, I didn't learn this from the book, but I learned this from somewhere else. But it's on the subject of savings. And if you watch to the end, oh, it's gonna bless you. It's a nugget that's gonna bless you. So make sure you keep watching towards the end. But listen, a lot of people don't pay themselves first. And so therefore they don't have a savings account and they're just spending their waking lives in this rat race, chasing to get their bills paid and all of this, and they never pay themselves first and they never get ahead and they wind up being stuck. But you're going to have to make a decision and make a savings account. I think you need at least two of them, but at the very minimum, you need one. So listen to this. This is also from the book. He says, on average, most of us have less than 3 months worth of expenses in the bank. Let me ask you a question. Do you have at least 3 months worth of expenses in the bank? Listen, this is not the time to exempt yourself. Listen, this is the time to examine yourself. It's time to be real with yourself so you can make the necessary changes that you need to make. But I think you need at least two types of savings. One is the most definitely the one you need if you can only do just the one is to have an emergency fund. You need a savings with at least 3 to 6 months of expenses, uh, or a minimum of $1,000. Some people say, I think at the very least, you don't need to let your emergency fund go under $1,000. But I personally think you need 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Take a screenshot of that. Because God forbid something happens on your job, you get laid off, you get terminated, something happens. You need to be able to live at least 3 to 6 months without working. That'll give you time enough to find another job. Well, if you don't have nothing in your emergency fund, if you don't have any savings, you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble. The second kind of savings I believe you should have is what I call an investment savings. This is a savings account that you don't touch it unless it's used to make more money. So we have a temptation to go and dip into our savings. I see people do it with their retirement all the time. They dip into borrow money from my 401k. Listen, I want you to create a savings account that you save money and you put money in and you do not touch it. There's no reason that you can take it out. The only qualification for you taking this money out is to use it to make more money. Take a screenshot of that. To use it to make more money. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. So just say you got $10,000 in your savings account, and there's a business opportunity that approaches, or you need a down payment on this rental property that you're going to rent out. Are you following where I'm going? And so you use that money, you take that money out. Now it's available to invest in something that's going to create more income that you can put back in it. I hope that's making sense. But at the very minimum, you need an emergency fund, because emergencies are going to happen. Life is going to happen. Worst case scenarios, prepare for them. Listen, a lot of people think that's being negative. Oh, that's being negative. You thinking bad stuff. No, I'm not telling you to expect worst case scenarios, but I am telling you to prepare for worst case scenarios. So if it does happen, you already have a plan. You already have a plan. I hope this is making sense. Now remember, I told you I'm gonna share this nugget with you. This is just like I said, this is not from the book, but most definitely get the book if you like this book, or you want to get the book. Like I said, don't say it like I said. I didn't say the link to the description of this book is in the description of this video. But I want to share this nugget with you on savings that has impacted me, that I've always used. Hey, I want to take this quick moment to tell you that not only do I love reading books, I also love writing them too. And I want you to check out the books that I've wrote. I'm a #1 Amazon bestseller, and my books change lives. Just like the shirt says, I write books that change lives. You see them right here beside me. Listen, to find out more about it, look in the description of this video and find out more about how you can get the ebook or the paperback copy. Now let's get back to this powerful teaching. And this nugget is in the form of a question. So follow me. So let me put it on here. All right. Like I said, this is not the time to exempt yourself. This is the time to examine yourself. What percentage of your income do you live off of? So when you get paid, this is the question. You don't have to answer it in the comment section, but I want you to answer to yourself and be real with yourself. What percentage of your income do you live off of? Take a screenshot of that. Now, if you saying you don't know, or maybe this question is kind of new to you never heard of this, then the answer is probably you're living off 100% of your income, because you have to consciously make a decision on the percentage of the income that you're going to live off of. Stay with me. Stay with me. What percentage of income are you living off of? Well, Billy, I don't know. You're probably living off 100%. So right now, you're going to need to make a decision today, not tomorrow, today, of how much you're going to live, how much percentage of your income you're going to live off of. I think you need to live off at least 90%. In other words, you need to save at least 10%, because you're not going to live off what you save, right? So that means the rest is what you're going to live off, what you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to live, right? Maybe you make a decision today to live off 80%. Maybe you make a decision to live off 50%. Now that's hard to do, but it is being done as we speak. So make a decision. You decide that percentage, whatever percentage of your income you're going to live off of. And you may be watching me and you're saying, well, Billy, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but right now I'm living paycheck to paycheck. My whole check is going towards bills, and times are hard and expenses going up. I don't have enough money I gotta live off of 100%. Well, let me tell you this, and this is what helped me, because I said the same thing. But here's the truth of the matter. Let me ask you a question. I'm not sure how much you're making right now, but God forbid, just say you lost your job and you had to get another job. But this other job is paying 10% less than the job you had before. Let me ask you a question. Wouldn't you find a way to live? Just chew on that for a minute. Wouldn't you survive? Wouldn't you work it out some kind of way? Wouldn't you find a way to make it work? And of course you would, because it's almost like it's forced. And I know it's easier said than done, but you can find a way to live. You just need to make a decision. Because if you had to, God forbid, you on your job and you had to take a deduction, you had to take a pay cut, you might be mad, but you'll find a way to work it out. The same is with your future. You're going to have to find a way to work it out because if not, you're going to be stuck. And I need you to make a decision today. You're going to live off of 90% of your income. You're going to live off of whatever that decision is. You need to make that decision for yourself and stick to it. And then make it automatically where it's automatically taken out. So you pay taxes that's automatically taken out. You don't see it. Got it? You pay all of these other expenses that's already taken out of your paycheck before it comes. So that's what the automatic millionaires talk about. That's what he's saying. Set it up where it's automatic. As a matter of fact, right on the front part of this book, this little circle right here, he says, do it once, the rest is automatic. That way it'll be easier as it's coming out. It's coming out just like taxes automatic. You done adapt it to that principle. You done adapt it to the reality that, okay, they go take out taxes, they go take out my insurance. You're already aware of that, and you're just living off of whatever else is coming, right? Do the same with your savings. Make it automatic where they automatically take out the savings, and and you live off the rest. Listen, I hope this video was helpful. If you like a copy of this book, The Automatic Millionaire, I put the direct link in the description of this video. Listen, all this information I give you is for free and it's to impact you. And if it's impacted you, listen, you don't owe me anything, but as a way of saying thank you, if you're going to get the book, I just ask that you use my affiliate link in the description of this video. It doesn't cost you any extra. You're going to pay the same thing if you go anywhere else and get the book. But by choosing to click my link, I get a small percentage of the sale. There's no additional cost to you, and I use it to support my Reese's habits. And that's a joke. But listen, also, if you'd like to see any other of my videos, I have other videos, especially that's dealing with finances. If you particularly want to watch a video on that, check out this playlist of my other videos that I've done. Billie reads books on money, books on finances. I'm gonna put it right here, so you just click right there, and I'll see you in that video. Listen, I love y'all. Y'all take care. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed, and always remember that the word is your life.